What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. And as you can see, and from the title of this video, we have the first NBA 2021 mock draft. This is the first mock draft I'm doing on my channel, so kind of early. We're at the halfway point in this season for college basketball. We got a lot of prospects to talk about. Also, want to make this clear, this is my mock draft, not your mock draft, so we're not going to agree on everything. But I do got to say, I spent the past couple of days watching and I mean so much film on all these players and the NBA teams. I've been studying on what they need, so hopefully it's good. If y'all want to see another mock draft, I never ask for likes on this channel, but just so I get an idea, let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video, and I'll do a part 2. I think I'm only going to be doing the first round because I don't want to do a whole long video because I don't know if y'all want to see it. If y'all want to see a part 2, we'll do the whole 60 picks. You know what to do, 1,000 likes. But without further ado, let's get into it. And on the clock, we got Detroit Pistons. Detroit, we're going to take a look at every team, talk about what they need. Detroit, I think center-wise, if they do wind up with the number 1 pick, they're not going to be going for a center. And plus, this draft class isn't going to be strong in centers. Not a lot of solid big man. And they're okay. They got Blake Griffin. They got Mason Plumlee. I think they're okay at the center position. Also, they got Jeremy Grant. I know he's not a center, but he's a very tall player. This is such an interesting pick because some people are going to say Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Kuminga. Everybody loves Jalen Green, but it's just hard to pass up on Cade Cunningham. 6'8" point guard. You're not going to find many of him ever, not just this year in this draft, ever. I think the Pistons would rock with Cade Cunningham. That's going to be our first pick on our draft. Second pick, we got the Timberwolves. Whew. Do they rock with a center here? Once again, I don't think so. You got Karl Anthony Towns locked up for 4 years. Center position, they're good. They got Anthony Edwards in the previous draft. I don't think they're going for a scorer here. They got scores. They got D'Angelo. Hold on, I'll scroll down so you see. They got D'Angelo, Anthony Edwards. I know Malik Beasley. He's not a high volume scorer, but he'll have a game here and there. I don't think they're going for a scorer right here. I think they're going for an overall solid small forward type of player. And Jalen Green hasn't played a lot in the G League, so I don't think he's done enough to get drafted second overall. Oh, Jalen Suggs, such a good player. I think they're going with a small forward here, and I got the perfect guy in mind. It would either be between Scotty Barnes and Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson, 6'9", small forward, can do a little bit of everything. It's a tough one between them. It's a coin flip. Scotty Barnes hasn't done enough at Florida State for me. He's been solid, but I just think Jalen Johnson coming out of high school was the better player. And at Duke, he's been a solid for them. I think they're rocking with him. Number 3, we got a franchise that is not doing that great. We got the Wizards. Wizards definitely don't need another point guard or shooting guard. They got Westbrook. They got Beal. But maybe if there's one up there. I just feel like the center position for the Wizards, if they get a good center, it's over. I mean, we can look at the roster right here. I'll show y'all. You got Thomas Bryant. He's okay. Robin Lopez. He's getting kind of old. I think they're definitely rocking with a center here. You see Evan Mobley. He's ranked second on the draft board. Mobley's averaging 16 points per game in college, over 8 rebounds. He's balling out. It's hard to pass up on Mobley. I'm keeping it short and sweet. You got to take him. He's just too good to pass up on. His ceiling's so high, and it's not really a high risk. And Washington Wizards, they can't be taking any more risks. Next up, we got the Raptors. They got Siakam, but he ain't been playing that great. Lowry, I mean, he's getting older in his career. Van Fleet, he looked good in the Warriors finals, but now he's looking like just a mediocre average. He's above mediocre, I'd say. He gets you buckets every now and then. Although I do think they need a center, I think they need a scorer. They need a true scorer. Siakam, he's good. He could be your number one, but I think they're also looking for that number two or future number one. He's coming off the board. I got to do it. I think Jalen Green fits in well with them and can make an immediate impact. Number 5, Sacramento Kings. Whew. The Kings, they don't really need a center. They don't. Bagley's been playing out of his mind, at least in my opinion. He's on the rise. Just give him some time. He's going to be okay. Buddy Hield. Some people are high on him. Some people are low. Bottom line is he's going to give you 20 points per game. They got Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox. They're good at the point guard / shooting guard position. I do not think they get a point guard shooting guard. They definitely need a small forward. And I got the perfect guy in mind. He didn't go. We had Jalen Johnson go earlier. I think they roll the dice and get Scotty Barnes. Not a safe pick, a risky pick, but they do need to take some risk in this organization. We got Scotty Barnes coming off the board. Next up, we got OKC. They have so many picks in this draft. Yeah, you see right here. They got this pick, the next pick, the 33rd pick, the 44th, and 49th. OKC, such an interesting team. Oh, man. Do they need a center? Questionable. They got Al Horford. He's getting old. He's getting washed up. Don't they have Shai? Yeah, Shai's been playing really good. They need everything. Whatever's best available, they need. You can see right here, they need. That's just their recommendations. But I did my own research. I know what the teams need. Point guard says low, but whoever's good, they would take. Oh, I really like Kuminga. A lot of you don't really know of Jonathan Kuminga because he's in the G League, not playing a lot. Kuminga is going to be a really good player in the NBA. 6'8". They got him listed at power forward, but I don't. Man, I want to go with Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs looks great in college, but I think you got to roll the dice. I think you get Kuminga here. Tall player. You got to roll. I think you're rolling with Kuminga. You got to roll the dice. Jalen Suggs is, I wouldn't even say it's more the safe pick. I think Kuminga is just more advanced in his game. He's in the G League, and Jalen Suggs is just in college. And Kuminga was rated higher in high school, and there's a reason for that. I think OKC gets Kuminga, and it doesn't matter. You want to know why? Because they're picking again. We got OKC with the 7th pick. And I don't think a center, they got Al Horford. I think they do need, here's the roster right here. Man, there's not too many centers to go with. I'll have to click on it. The best center available may be Greg Brown, I think. No, Day'Ron Sharpe. Oh, I forgot about him. Just because he's lower rated. I don't think they go back-to-back with a point guard or shooting guard. A guy a lot of people are high on is Luka Garza. I don't think he's a lottery pick, though. I think they get him later in their draft. I can't pull the trigger on him. You see the centers. There's some good centers available. I think when you have a lottery pick, the main goal is you want to get one of the best players available, not a player you think is going to be great. And it's just hard to pass up on Suggs, in my opinion. I think you get the 2 best guards in it. I do like Luka Garza. I just don't think he's a lottery pick. I don't think you can get him that. That's too big of a risk. You got to go with Suggs here. I know they needed a center, but they have plenty of other picks later in this draft, and he'll still be up there. Oh, 8th pick. We got the Bulls. The Bulls have been wishy-washy. They need so many. They need a point guard. They need a center. They need a lot of players. The only bright side on this team has been Zach LaVine. Porter Jr. has been okay. I don't think they roll with a center here. They need a scorer. They need another scorer, small forward, defensive player. Somebody to give Zach LaVine help. Everyone's been high on Keon Johnson. He hasn't impressed me that much at Tennessee. He's been good, but he hasn't impressed me. I think we go down. Hold on. We got to go down in the draft board. There's a lot of good players down here. Sharif. Ooh, that's interesting. Sharif that high? I don't know. The Bulls. I don't think they get Zaire Williams or Keon Johnson. That's not a good pick in my opinion. I think they're looking for another guy to add to the fuel and fire, get them some buckets. And when you're talking about a bucket getter, this may be controversial, but Cam Thomas is averaging 22 per game and he's a freshman. This man's real. Quit sleeping on him. I think they roll with him. I think they're wrong with him. We got the Hawks. The Hawks are in desperate need of a center. They got Trey. They got the scores. I'll show y'all. Where's Trey at? Yeah, they got Trey right here. I think scoring-wise, they're okay. Gallinari, man. They could... The thing with Atlanta is they're so... It doesn't... They have a lot of good pieces. They just don't have standout players. I think they're just going to see who's best available. And as we see, we still got Zaire and Keon on the board. But I don't think they're wrong with them. I think they're either getting a center or another scorer. And I don't think they need a scorer. I really like this guy. I've been watching a lot of film on him. A lot of people are high on Bassie. I'm not too much right now. I think they rate... Day'Ron Sharp at North Carolina is going to be a great NBA player one day. I think they're rolling with him. Next up, 10th pick on the clock. We got the New Orleans Pelicans. Another interesting one. They do have Steven Adams, I believe. Yep. Brandon Ingram. They got Lonzo, but he's not a great NBA player. Bledsoe. Redditt. Williamson. They're not getting a center or power forward. They're beefed up down there. They got 6'8", 6'9", 6'11". They need another scorer that can stretch the floor. They need somebody that can stretch the floor. I'll show y'all some of the shooting guards in the draft right here. Most of these players can do it all, point guard, shooting guard. It really doesn't matter when you get to the NBA. They need a shooter. And I'll show y'all the shooting guards once again. Brandon Boston is a guy, he's had a tough college season. Moses Moody has been really good for Arkansas. Terrence Clark's been hurt, so it's hard for me to judge him. But when you're talking about shooters, Zaire's been struggling. He's shooting only 17% from the field. I mean, the three-point line. Keon Johnson is a lot of people are high on him. 10th. I also like, he's a small forward right in here. Josh Christopher, I really like him. He's been good. I just think he's not as good as a shooter as Keon Johnson. And I think we roll with him at 10. Very good shooter. He's going to be a good NBA player. I think he could be great one day. Next up, we got the Knicks, and they need so much stuff. I'll show you the roster real quick. Randall, Barrett. I wouldn't label him a disappointment. He's been average. They just got a lot. They got Toppin last year, so I don't think they roll again with another power forward. They could use a center. They could use a scorer. They do have the 19th pick too, so they could get that good center later in the round. I think when you're this high, like I've said, you got to get the best players available. They need not only a shooter, they need a point guard that can score, small forward. And finally, this may be a little later, but I do think Zaire comes off the board here. He's got a lot of upside. He hasn't been playing great in college, but in the NBA, he's going to be okay. I mean, he's going to be okay. Knicks take him. 12, we got the Nuggets. They don't really need that much. The Nuggets, center-wise, they got Jokic. You're not going to pick up a backup center in the first round anyways. They're okay there. Show you the roster right here. They're okay. Murray, Harris, they got the scores. I think what they're lacking is a small forward, and I think you know where we're going with this, or maybe not. A lot of people are higher on Corey. I'm not too high on him just because he is older. He's 22-ish, I believe, 23, something like that. A lot of people are high on him. Herb Jones, Marcus Bagley. I know he's listed as a shooting guard. That's why I was in a small forward, but he's more of a small forward. I think they roll with Josh Christopher here. He can extend the floor, shoot a lot of good shots. At Arizona State, I believe he's averaging 17 per game. He's been great. In high school, he was great. Good friends with Jalen Green. I think they take him. He fits good with their system. All right, on the clock, we got the Rockets. What don't they need? They've traded James Harden, so need a point guard, shooting guard, power forward. They're super small. I'll show you the roster. The Wood guy's been really good for them. Exum, they do got Cousins, but he's washed. John Wall, so they do got the point guard of their future. He doesn't have that many years left in him, really. If you think about it. I mean, I'm sure he has about 6 or 7 max, maybe, minimum. I think they really need a center because although the NBA's trending towards small ball, you still got to have a center. 13th pick. Man, I want to take Luka Garza. I don't know why they have him so low rated. In high school, he's been balling. Not high school, college. I like Luka Garza. Maybe Bassie's the pick. But Luka has been balling. He's been balling. Junior, senior, so age difference going to be the same. I think they take Luka Garza here. I don't know why ESPN and all these other places don't have him rated higher. Maybe it is because he's 6'11". I like the kid. I think they rolled the dice with him. I guess you could say they get Garza. I like the pick. I really like that pick. I really like it. I know some of you may not. I like the pick. For Rockets fans, don't sleep on Garza. Y'all need him. 14th, we got the Grizzlies. They're on the rise, a young franchise. Their fan base, they're going to be patient with them. They've always been patient. They've never been a dominating team. They're somewhere in the middle of the pack. They do have your boy. So, see the current roster real quick. I don't think they get a center here. I really don't. Because there's not too many good centers in this draft. Which is kind of strange. They do, I don't know, Ja Morant. He's the point guard of the future. I think they're looking for the shooting guard / wingman of the future. So, I had a player in mind in him before this video. I can't remember who it was. Definitely not Brandon Boston. Moses Moody has been phenomenal for Arizona. Not Arizona, Arkansas. Ooh, I don't know. Do they get a point guard and make him a shooter? I think they could do that. Trey Mann's been good. Sharif. I don't think they get Sharif. Sharif hasn't built up his draft. He hasn't played enough. I think the Grizzlies, I've been doing a lot of film and research on him. A lot of people may not know him, but I think they get Deshaun Nix here. He's in the G League. Not doing college. If he was in college, his draft stock would be way higher. They're going to get Deshaun Nix here. Great high school player. Next up, got the Hornets. Woo! I'll show y'all the roster real quick. They got Hayward. He's been a bright side. A lot of people are impressed with him. LaMelo. He been playing out of his mind. Malik Monk. Center Cody Zeller. He's been good. I think they do need a center or another scorer. And I'll show y'all the centers left. Right here. I don't think they go overseas and get him. I know some of y'all ain't going to believe it, but I actually did do my film on him. He's okay. I mean, I can't say too much because I didn't see that much. But he probably will get drafted. I also think they could get a shooting guard or a small forward. And I don't think they need a center right now. I really don't. Cody Zeller, he's okay. They could get, I don't know. I don't think Greg Brown's proved enough. we're going to have to go down. I have a player in mind. I don't know. I don't know if they pulled the trigger on him. I don't think they pulled the trigger on him. I'm going to save him. Just from what I've seen, this is a sleeper. They're getting Moses Moody. My bad. Moses Moody. He's been phenomenal. He's going to be a one and done. More than likely. Next up, Orlando Magic. They've been irrelevant ever since Dwight Howard left. They don't need a center. They got super tall players. They need a guy who can go out and get them a bucket. They need a point guard. I like Springer, Trey Man. Do I pull it? I love Sharif Cooper. His upside, he's only played in 3 games, averaging 20 points per game, over 11 assists. He can change a team. I really believe so. I'm not so high on the Trey Man guy. I don't think he's a first rounder right now. Jaden Springer, a little too young. Freshman. Oh, so is Sharif. But he hasn't impressed me like Sharif has. I don't see Sharif slipping out of the top 20 if he keeps playing the way he has. I think they get Sharif. And plus, that'll bring in a lot of publicity. It'll get Orlando excited about playing basketball again. Next up, we got the Cavs. Cavs do not need a center. They rock that small ball. And they do, not small ball, but they got a lot of big men. Power forward, no. I don't know why it says they need a power forward. Just look at this lineup. They do not need a power forward. They do have Sexton, right? Right? And, yeah, Sexton and the other guy. I can't think of their names. Yeah, Isaac. You got a shooting guard. I don't see them getting another center. I really don't. I know they got Sexton the previous draft and Okoro and Darius Garland. I think they get another player like that, another playmaker. They don't need centers. They got enough of those tall players. They could get a small forward. I could see that. Yep, I know where I'm going with this. I know exactly where I'm going with this. I didn't think he was going to go this early, but he improves his draft stock every game. Marcus Bagley has been shooting over 40% from deep, playing great. This is a good player a lot of people are sleeping on. I like Bagley. Warriors. They got Clay, Wiggins, Steph, Draymond. I don't think they're getting a... Ooh, wait. Hold on. Is he on there? Forgot. Yeah, I thought there was a player on there. It wasn't. They could be looking for the backup point guard to Curry. Give him some minutes. Not a shooting guard, not a small forward. Center. No, they got Wiseman. They could get a backup center, but this is too high. There's not that many good centers left. I don't think they pull it. Bassey. I don't. I think they're getting the backup point guard for Curry right here. I'm not high on Trey Man. I'm not. I'm 50-50 on Springer, but David Johnson for Louisville has been a very solid player. They had him 13th. I got him falling lower than that. That one's pretty simple. He's a great player. The Knicks again. They took Zaire with the 11th pick. I think they get another point guard here, though. They need a guy that can score the ball, facilitate, just get the offense in rhythm. Another very simple player. I know we're letting these guys slip. I don't know why BJ is so high. If he keeps playing the way he is, he's not. They get another point guard here, and we're going lower in the draft. Jaden Springer for Tennessee. He's been playing great for Tennessee. Don't sleep on him. Next up, we got the Spurs with Popovich. They really couldn't go wrong with anything. I'll show you the lineups. They do have DeRozan. Not a true point guard. They got Murray. Patty. But as you see, not a great center. And I think LaMarcus Aldridge, I refer to him as a power forward. But I think they get a center here, and he comes off the board earlier than expected. Not him. But we got Charles Bassey for Western Kentucky. Been seeing a lot of great things on him from the film. He's more the old school center, not going to step out and hit many threes. I like him. He's a great pick for them. The Nets. Now, I'm not too sure how updated this draft is, but I know they traded so many first rounders. I still don't know if they have this first round pick, but it's in the draft. So we're going to roll with it anyways. Do not need any scores. They need power forward or centers. I think we're going to see another center come off the board, but I do have a power forward in mind. Yeah, I don't think a center comes off the board here. Because don't they have a good backup center, right? They got DeAndre. They got Jeff. Yeah. Kevin Durant can play center. I don't think a center comes off the board. I think Isaiah Jackson for Kentucky. He's arguably the best player for Kentucky. And he may continue to be the best player for Kentucky throughout the season. Next up, Indiana Pacers. Not going to lie, I didn't do too much research on this team. I do know T.J. Warren, LeVert, Miles Turner, Sabonis, all great players, Brogdon. This team's really slept on. Their cap space is terrible right now. They've been paying a lot of players. Center-wise, I don't think they roll with a center here. They're a very tall team. You see Sabonis, Turner. I think they're getting that backup point guard for the future, planning ahead, shooting guard. They could get a shooting guard here. I think it's time he comes off the board. We got James. I'm not sure how you say his last name, but Knight. He's coming off the board. It's about time. He fell in my draft. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't too high on him, but he is a great player. Next up, we got the Rockets. Once again, they need anything they can get. We did take Luka Garza, which was kind of controversial. Some people don't think he's a first rounder. I think he's been playing like a first rounder. There's no downside with him. I don't see why you wouldn't take him. He could go in the lottery too. You never know. But with that being said, they did take a center. So they're very small. I think they get a small forward that can score the ball and play deep. Just do a little bit of it. They need so much stuff. And he fell in my draft, but he's coming off the board. One of the more better players we've seen at the college level. We got Corey Kispert, whatever. Y'all know how to say his name. We got the Suns. The Suns, they got Paul, they got Booker. I don't think they take another point guard. Center-wise, they do got Ayton, who was a top pick years ago. Sargent, Cameron Johnson. I don't think they get another point guard here. Let me check the point guard left. I forgot. Yeah, there's not that many more great point guards left. Shooting guards, not that many. Greg Brown. Yeah. I think they get a big man here. I know they get Ayton, but they really don't have the best backups. And I think Greg Brown could play power forward or center. I'm rolling with Greg here. He's been good in college so far. Not great, but good. He's going to be a good NBA player. Next up, we got the Sixers, and they just need to trade Ben Simmons. I'm going to say it. He's not a shooter, and you got to shoot to win championships. Your point guard can't be a non-shooter. You can try to change my mind down below. That's how I feel about it. They got Embiid. They got taught. They're not getting a center. They're already too crammed. They need a guy who can shoot the ball. I'm talking about shoot that thing. Like, shoot it. Nah, they're not getting any of them. I know exactly who they're getting. I might have to go deep. I'm really high on John Petty. I don't think he's a first rounder, though. Definitely not. They get him later in the draft, maybe. They get him later in the draft. They need the shooter. I can't think of his name. I know we got Brandon Boston still up here, but he's not a first rounder in my eyes, and you can't tell me different. I do not care. They need a shooter. I'm going to have to go down in the draft. He's been hurt, but he can shoot the ball. He's shooting 30% for Kentucky. He's too talented to not take at 25th. If he's still on the board, you got to take him. He's been hurt, but don't sleep on him. We got Terrence Clark. Not the best shooter. I called him a shooter. Not the best shooter, but I think he's super talented, super athletic. He's coming off the board. Next up, we got the Celtics. Celtics are always going to be good. I know it says they need power forward and centers, but I disagree. They got Tatum. Just don't pay attention to that. That stuff's just messed up. Tristan Thompson, they're good there. They got a lot of scores on this team. I just think they're taking the best player available. BJ Boston, you're not coming off the board. You can set up at 15 all you want. You're not coming off this board. Not high on this guy. I did do some research on him. Not too high on him. I think they're taking the best player available. And Kai Jones, he's been good for Texas. I just don't see him fitting in with them. I don't see them drafting him. I really don't, guys. This is gonna be. I have so many players in mind for the Celtics. I'm trying to think. I don't know who exactly I want to come off the board for them. Nah, I have so many. Maybe they do just go with the safe pick. They don't really need to take a risk. I know it's they don't. He would be a good backup for him, I guess. I'm more high on him than I am on him. They get Usman. That's just a safe pick. It really don't matter what they do with it. Next up, we got the Bucks. They got Middleton, Giannis, Holiday, Lopez. They're low-key loaded. They're just taking the best player available. I do not think they get a big man once again. They need shooters to spread the floor in the playoffs. Or at least a backup shooter that can spread the floor. And I don't know. I'm high on Butler and Mitchell. I got a couple in mind for this. It's pretty hard to make picks, especially when these teams, it don't matter what you get. I like the Matthew Hurt guy. Is he 6'9" or these? No way. Butler. I think I'm gonna roll with him. I don't know. I have so many in mind, guys. This one's taking a little longer. I think they get another point guard here. I think they get Jared Butler. Not the best shooter, but he can get the job done. They'll work on that at the next level. Next up, we got the Utah Jazz. They do not get a center here. They got Rudy Gobert. I don't think any more centers will come up in this draft. I think they get the backup point guard for the future. I don't think Trey Mann comes off the board yet. I think they're getting the backup. Man, I want it. I think they get the backup guard of the future, and they're getting DJ Stewart here because he's not high yet, but he's going to be. Trust me. Trust the process on this. They get DJ Stewart here. Athletic player. We got the Clips. Paul George, Kiwi Leonard, Beverly. Do they need a center though? I don't think they need a center. They got Ibaka. They need a backup point guard. No, backup point guard or center. I don't think he comes off the board yet. I think they get a point guard. And David Mitchell's coming off the board. Lakers. They don't need anything. I guess if anything, a center, maybe. I don't know. I really don't think they need a center. They're stacked. I think they just get the best player available. And as you see, the best available, we got BJ Boston. Sorry, my nose has been running, guys. We got BJ Boston, Kai Jones, Trey Mann. But when you don't need anybody, you can just roll the dice on a bunch of these players. I had a certain player in mind. Oh, yeah, here he is. My bad. Keontae Johnson. He would be way higher, probably top 30 on ESPN. These are ESPN rankings. If he had a seizure or something during a game. He hasn't played. I think he gets drafted in the first round, maybe. The Lakers could go anywhere with this. I like the kid. I think they take him. And that is the first round. And that is my mock draft. First mock draft of the season. Like I said, let me know if y'all want to see another one of these. This was pretty fun. I did a lot of research for this video, but besides that, it was fun. We got Cade going at number 1. Do a little summary. Cade at 1, Jalen Johnson 2, Mobley 3, Jalen Green at 4, Scotty Barnes 5, Kuminga 6, 7, Jalen Suggs. Y'all see it. I'm just going to scroll through so y'all see it. Day'Ron Sharp, Deshaun Nix, Moses Moody at 15. Garza, that's a sleeper. I like him in college. I could see him being that high. Christopher, 12, by the Nuggets. I like that. We got Sharif Cooper. Interesting topic. Could he work his way into that lottery pick? Who knows? We got Marcus Bagley. David Johnson, I like him. Springer, Charles Bassey. Isaiah Jackson for Kentucky. Don't sleep on him. I could see him creeping up in that lottery. James McKnight. Corey Kispert. Greg Brown. Terrence Clark at 25, which may be generous. Not too sure. Usman. That's an iffy one. Don't really matter. Jared Butler. DJ Stewart. Davion Mitchell. And Keontae Johnson. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first mock draft of 2021. If y'all want to see more of these, let me know in the comment section. And let me know your mock drafts down below in the comment section too, because I know a lot of people ain't going to agree with me. But this is my mock draft, not your mock draft. So I had fun with it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.